right now we're crossing the bridge over the waterway, and there's not a whole lot of water now, but there's still some flowing. And this bridge is going to be the separation between Middle Ranch and Upper Ranch. We're basically broken up into 4 portions of our ranch. We have Lower Ranch, Middle Ranch, the principal part of the ranch, main ranch. We usually call it Rancho Principal. And then we have back of the ranch. What I love about this area is the fact that you actually have 4 seasons on this road. So right now is the end of spring and it's pretty dry, and it will remain that way through summer. But the leaves all start coming back at the end of summer, the beginning of autumn, and then we have a nice green area, and then bright green, just full of life during winter. And then towards the beginning of spring, it turns yellow with all these beautiful flowers. And then we start all over again. There are not a lot of areas in Southern California where you actually have 4 seasons. Quite often, taking this road out, if you have an appointment, you probably need to leave early, because the cows like to sit in the middle of the road, and it's my car versus 16 cows that are huge, so we let the cows determine the traffic flow. And I had a dentist appointment that I was going to be late to, and I called to say I can't move because I have cows on the road, and they laughed. They never heard that excuse before. So I took my hand with my camera out and of the window, and I videotaped them, and I sent it to them, and they were like, "Oh wow, you were serious." I was serious. When you get up here, it's just like a breath of fresh air. Each part of the ranch has its own personality, but I just, in my mind, think as you go higher and higher into the property, it gets prettier and prettier. This is more like a forest than it is the desert. We're at about 2,500 feet up here. So all of our gates here are automatic security gates. You can say it's for people, but for us really, it's to keep some of the predators out, to keep the coyotes out. We can't keep the cougars and the bears and the bobcats out, but we can keep some things out, and it's a nice barrier for our dogs. We're going to wait here and make sure that the gate closes properly, so that way the dogs don't get out. Those guineas are basically some of our first line of defense. Maybe later they'll let us know that somebody here is here or something different is happening. They have this big twirly noise that they make when a stranger comes up or a strange car comes up, and they're very, very loud. If they see a snake, they'll surround it and just kind of torment it and make all this noise. So if we come and look, we usually find that there's a snake there. A lot of times, one of the guineas will go up towards the snake's head, and then the other guineas go and start pecking at its backside, and they really do torment it. But we love them for it in the same respect, because we usually know when there's a rattlesnake inside the main area, because once they find it, they let us know, and we can come and take that snake away. But they're also good for, you see them picking at the ground. They're picking up worms and insects and ticks and such. We really have not had a tick problem since we had guineas here. So we're driving up through our orchard here. We have chickens on this side. This is an interesting time of the year for our orchards. We're kind of in between seasons, just about to start with some of our stone fruit. It's not been a good stone fruit year. It doesn't look like it will be, because we had a lot of warm springtime temperatures, which is quite unusual. Now, in talking about temperatures, we are 15 minutes from Palm Springs, from Tramway Road and Highway 111 in Palm Springs. But yet we're worlds apart. Today I looked at the, oh, here we go, all of our babies are coming up. But today I looked at the weather report. It was supposed to be about 100 degrees in Palm Springs, and the high here is 84 today. You can really feel the difference. We're usually 10 to sometimes 30 degrees cooler than the desert floor. If the San Bernardinos are on this side, and around 4 or 5 o'clock, once the sun goes over that, you feel an automatic at least 10-degree temperature drop. My husband will come in on a 115-degree day from our store in Palm Springs and come home, and we'll be eating dinner outside because it's 80, 85 degrees. Where can you do that 15 minutes from Palm Springs? Here. A great place to plan a dinner up here with a caterer, and we have lots of spots. If somebody wanted to do that, they should get in touch with us, and we can come up with some type of a price that will work for everybody. Let's take a look and see what we've got going here. Thank you for doing that. So this is one, these are our date trees, and I do not know, these palm trees that give us dates, I do not know what type they are, but they're huge dates. And they just started, they will be about 2 or 3 months before they're ready. And if you look down here, you'll see that we have chicken wire around this one. That's because the dogs were trying to get to the dates, and they were pulling everything out, all the bark out, so they could get up, because the dates get really heavy and hang down. And so the dogs were trying to climb up to get the dates, because they love them, and they probably shouldn't eat them, but they do. And yes, they poop date pits, which is probably not good. But good thing our dogs are big. Not these dogs, our big, great Pyrenees dogs. But this is our dates. We get quite a few dates just off of these 2 trees. They keep us in dates. Very early right now. These are persimmons. We normally don't get persimmons starting until August. But we had a real hot spring for about a week or so. And you're going to see the same thing over here with pomegranates. This is way too early to have pomegranates this big. We hope they take and we end up with pomegranates, but we might have ripe pomegranates if they last in August. Isn't that crazy? Look at all these pomegranates. All right, so our figs are a little ahead of my son Taylor's figs. So this week we're going to take out the nets, and we're going to throw nets over these fig trees, because the ravens think that the figs are for them, and they're not. They're for us. So they can get the ones that fall on the ground. We want the ones from the trees. Interesting thing that we found with our figs is the first batch that are ready, the first week or so of the ready figs, they're mealy. And then after that, they're really nice, just wonderful tasting and textured figs. They get pretty big. They get about this big, which is bigger than normal. Right now we have the beginnings of pears. This is a common pear tree. Very old trees. I would say not the best tasting pears. I try to get them as ripe as possible. Then I try to peel them, and then we try to make jam out of them or juice them and mix them with another type of a juice. They're really healthy for you, but you can get better pears at the grocery store, I think. During the beginning of the year, around January, we have lots of citrus. We've showed you that before. The trees are just falling down in citrus, and they get ripe as you come up towards the house. So if you look here, we still have lemons and oranges, and we have some grapefruits that are just now ripening, which is interesting because this isn't citrus season anymore, but this is what happens on the ranch. And here we go. These are limes. These are Mexican key limes. We have tons of them. A lot of times I pick them when they're all ready, and I'll put them in boxes, and I'll just bring them to local restaurants because I can't use them and they can. We don't charge them, we just give them away. Sometimes people are nice and they'll, give me a meal or something, but I don't ask for it. We're gonna pick these soon, and we're gonna juice and make jelly out of most of these. Here are our avocado trees. It's not avocado season, but they're looking nice and healthy. The heat just didn't seem to bother them, that we had that early heat that we had. We should already have full-size stone fruit, but now we don't. This is a peach tree, and there's not a whole lot on here, so I'm not sure what's going to happen for our stone fruit this year. This is an apple tree. It's an Anna apple, and it is fenced off because our chocolate labs love apples. And so they will actually pull the apples off and eat them. On the taller trees, we have video of them climbing the trees and eating them. What would you say the temperature is right here with the breeze?
I think you said 80, 85 maybe. In the sun, a lot hotter.
I think in the sun about 85. I'd say this is about 80, high 70s in the shade with the breeze. Whitewater is a windy area, but we are protected here, so we don't get any more wind than you would get in parts of Palm Springs. Not the windy parts, not the parts by the freeway. So we have about the same type of wind if you were opposite of the freeway and opposite side closer to the 111. But we do have these nice breezes, and since we're 10 to 30 degrees cooler, it's just lovely to be up here, especially during the summertime. It's not to say that we don't have times where it's hot, especially in the sun, but we always have places that we can go to and hide out at. Now, this is the main part of the ranch, the principal part, and we have 6 acres cordoned off with fencing, but actually our property line goes way up to the top of the mountain. Now, this here, we won't see anything until the end of the summertime, but this is passion fruit. And they're purple types of balls that once they start to look wrinkly and ugly, then it's time to pick them. We cut the top off, we take a spoon, and we eat the passion fruit that's in the inside. It looks disgusting, tastes marvelous. All right, here we're starting on to our grapes. And we'll take a look at those in a little bit. Right now, this is kumquats. I'm not a fan, but my husband is. My husband just pops them in his mouth like candy. It's a little too bitter on the inside for me. I don't know, have you tried them?
I have before, but I haven't tried these, I don't think. Let's try.
Yeah, why don't you try one, Bishop, and see?
Oh my God. It's like the orangiest bite of orange because you eat the peel as well. Mm-hmm. It's got to be very healthy for you.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bitter on the outside, sweet on the inside.
I can eat these all day.
So can Mike.
Like a little snack. Oh man, let me get one more for the road. Make it 2. Okay, make it 3. That's the last one.
I'm always like, who'd want to be in town when you can be here? So here we have the beginnings of our grapes. And you can see they've put netting around them to keep the birds from getting at them. We have a whole bunch over here on this one. Sometimes if they start to grow too close, the birds will still get them. So then we will take and we will wrap them individually. What we're going to do is wrap them in this organza bag, which will allow the light to filter in. There we go. So this will allow the sun to get it so it can get sweet. But the holes are only enough so they can breathe, but there's no way that the birds could get on these. So people will come and visit us and they'll say, why do you have these organza jewelry bags all over the place? And we'll say, so that way we can have grapes. In this area, it's the birds that get them, and the raccoons try to get them, the bats. So I bought 250 of these bags, and we're going to start now that we have these grapes pumping out over here, and now we're going to start on them, bagging them up. And they're just like a regular common table grape. There's nothing special about them for winemaking or for anything else, but we love them. They taste great. There you go. So we'll be doing more of this weekend. So these are a lot of our citrus, and they go all the way down. And if you remember correctly, January we started picking down below, and by March we're picking up here, and we got some, they're getting ready, so they should be ready again by end of December, beginning of January down below. I don't know if you remember, Bishop, but the last time you were here, there were no leaves on our walnut trees, and people thought our trees were dead, but they're not. We get tons of walnuts off of them. We also have hazelnuts. The problem is I can't find anybody to process them, and it's a big, big ordeal to get them dried and cracked and, you know, to pull the walnuts out of it. I don't have that kind of time. So again, if anybody online knows in the Palm Springs area where we could take boxes and boxes and boxes of walnuts and hazelnuts to be processed, we'd love to know. Again, we have another fig tree. And then down here, this is going to be, I believe it's a Japanese pear tree. It's really good. Again, this is early. We don't normally see anything on here this early. During the holidays where people use a lot of rosemary, I cut it up and put it in vases, and we'd be bringing it into the store because rosemary is expensive around the holidays. We'd say, take as much as you want. If you want more, let us know. We have more rosemary than we know what to do with. So over by our chicken coop, see the difference in just what side of the orchard you're on? That's a fig tree over there. Nothing happening to it. It's still alive. You can see, if you come up here, new growth just starting. But what a difference compared to our other fig trees. Here's another Anna apple tree. Again, fenced up for these two boys not to get to it. Pomegranates, and then I'm going to show you, Bishop, what you could pull later on, because I know you're a fan of this. This is going to be the last few weeks. Here's some more oranges. We're going to be pulling all of those, but Bishop, you still can bring home a box of grapefruit.
Yeah, that's
it's
my
the
favorite
last.
for breakfast.
It is the last of the grapefruits coming in. Actually, no, that's the lemons. We have the grapefruits are probably on the other side.
These are some huge lemons.
Aren't they? All right. There you go. There's your grapefruits. So this is what you can pull. That's the last of your grapefruits. Now, I think this is a cherry tree. I am not sure. It's either that or it's a stone fruit like a peach. But this is a newer tree, so I'm not exactly sure. Let's take a look. I used to have tags on all my trees, but somehow they didn't make it. No, this looks like it's going to be an apricot, if you look inside here. So the birds already got to it. That's how fast they get to it. So we've got to put netting over this tree as well. So it looks like we're going to have some nice apricots. Remnants of springtime. Love having our nests here. All right, well, thank you for visiting our ranch's orchard. If you come and take a tour, we always end our tour with your being able to get a bag and pick as much fruit as you want to take home with you. So depending on the season, if you're a citrus person, come during citrus season. We're going to start stone fruits here pretty soon. Come and pick our stone fruit, apples, whatever you want. it's for you to take home if you book a tour with us. So thank you for watching this video about our orchards. We hope that you hit the button to subscribe. If you like this video, hit like. Otherwise, share it with a friend and stay tuned for our next video.